Is power asymmetric? Well, asymmetric. So if you take the word symmetry, that's basically cut down the middle, balanced out, right? So when power becomes asymmetric, there is no balance, all right? So power becomes asymmetric when there is no balance, out of balance. Now, we're just going to take importance here, the word asymmetric, right? So what does this term mean here? Asymmetric. Well, discussing war, right? We have what's known as a hierarchy of power, right? So hierarchy of power, right? And this is basically what asymmetric is, right? So everyone knows their place in this chart of power, right? Those on top have the most power, and those on the bottom they have the least amount of power, right? So this is when power is asymmetric, right? Now, can asymmetric power lead to peace? Of course it can, because everyone knows their place in the chart. If we mess with the ones on top, if the little guys at the bottom mess with the people on top, they know that they're outnumbered. They're probably you know out uh, what's it called, out weaponized, we'll say. Higher technology on the superpower ends, they have a great advantage there, right? Now, moving on here, asymmetric, right? So now there's also something called guerrilla warfare, right? And this is very asymmetric here. Now, this is further on. I believe I discussed it in A42 or A41, right? Now, power becomes asymmetric here, right? So now let's discuss a little bit about asymmetric warfare. Warfare. Now, right now, we are going into what's known as asymmetric warfare, right? It's basically where we are dealing with terrorist groups. Look, it's 2019. So those at fault are not the ones that hold high offices within the government of the opposing state. It's mainly the civilians that pose the threat. We'll say the uprisings and the refugees and the guerrillas and even pirates. We still have pirates nowadays, believe it or not. Yeah, they capture a whole bunch of oil. So, or they seize a lot of oil and then they try to run ransom for it. You know, especially along the coast of West, sorry, East Africa. There you go. All right, so now power becomes asymmetric. Now, the United States, we'll say, has the most power at the moment, right? We have a lot of WMDs, right, which stands for weapons of mass destructions, right? All right, now we have a terrorist issue, right? So, are we going to blame all of the Middle East for the actions of this one terrorist group? No. The terrorist group at this moment, they're not strong enough. They don't have the technology to keep up with us. They don't have the man strength to keep up with us. They don't have possession of any weapons of mass destruction. So this is asymmetric warfare at this moment, right? We know that the United States is clearly way more powerful than a terrorist group from the Middle East, right? But how do you combat that? All right. Um, we'll discuss it more in A40, but that's basically what asymmetric warfare is at the moment, right? Well, I'm just going to recap again here. Asymmetric, okay, there is no balance. So, power, there's no balance in power, everything is out of balance.